Hi there, my name is Renee Hobbs, and today I want to talk a little bit about a problem that I notice over and over among many different educators in both formal and informal settings. Lots of people confuse plagiarism and copyright, and that's a confusion that we need to clear away. So today I'm just going to talk briefly a little bit about why plagiarism and copyright shouldn't be equated and why it's important for us to teach about both of them to create some copyright clarity. All right, let's begin. So plagiarism, everybody knows what that is. That's using other people's creative work by passing it off as your own. In today's cut and paste culture, that the simplicity of plagiarism makes it a real problem. Now that's different than copyright infringement. Copyright infringement is a legal violation of the rights of authors who can control access to their creative work. So the solution to plagiarism is attribution. That's the technical term for citing your sources. The solution to copyright infringement, well, of course, is a lawsuit resulting in fines and other penalties. So plagiarism is in effect an ethical violation of expectations that authors and readers, users have around giving credit where credit is due. You'll never go to jail or pay a fine for plagiarism because it is an ethical issue. But copyright infringement, that's a legal matter. And so we want to help students understand the difference between plagiarism and copyright infringement. Now, what's important to teach about when we teach about attribution or citing your sources is to help students recognize that citing your sources is a courtesy, a professional norm that varies depending on the norms of the genre. For instance, in academic writing, citing your sources is considered essential in showing how new knowledge is connected to ideas and arguments and points of view developed by authors and creative people who preceded us. But in video PSAs, poetry, informal writing, documentary film, journalism, and on websites, there are different methods of citing your sources. For instance, on a website, the hyperlink is often used as a way to cite a source. Instead of having a works cited down at the bottom of the website, sometimes authors will simply put in a hyperlink and take you to that source directly online. Similarly, in journalism, you very rarely see an author date citation. Usually the norms of the genre say that journalists cite their sources by using phrases like according to, and then they name the source, they give the title of the source, and they put the direct quotation from the source's spoken or written language. But each genre has a different set of norms and expectations. In poetry, for instance, attribution is rarely found, even though one poem may refer to the language of another poem, say. We don't usually see a formal citation. So students need to understand that attribution is an ethical matter where authors indicate the sources of ideas and information that inspire their own creative work, but that attribution varies depending on what form of communication and expression you're using. Now, one of the things that I love to do is to teach students how to use source materials. And so I explicitly teach the practices of summarizing, paraphrasing, and direct quotation. Let's take a look at an example of an activity that often helps students understand how to use sources in their own creative work. Here's a student who's navigated to the New York Times, is looking at a I don't think it's a review. It looks like it's a profile of the executive producer of a TV show called 16 and Pregnant. So the student has put a screenshot of the web page, used a APA citation there. This is the author's name is John Caramanica, and it was written in 2010. The title is Age at 40, Circling Back to Teenage Life. It was published in the New York Times on August 27. Now, the hardest bit of writing for my young student was to write a summary. A summary is an overview of the big ideas in this article. So this kid wrote, the producer of 16 and Pregnant has had a turbulent career after having a successful early start in Hollywood, followed by a string of failures and personal problems. Now that 16 and Pregnant is a hit, he has a mission to tell the complex life stories of teenagers who are struggling with life challenges. What follows is called the author date citation, Caramanica, 2010. That's the format expected for APA, the American Psychological Association citation. Now, a paraphrase is when you put some fact or information from the article into your own words. For instance, more than 2.4 million viewers watch 16 and Pregnant each week. And a direct quotation is when you use the actual language of the author, John Caramanica, in your own writing. For example, Morgan J. Freeman has helped, quote, reposition MTV's reality slate from tracking the lives of the young, beautiful, and rich to capturing the lives of the young, beautiful, and resilient, unquote. Caramanica 2010, page D1. Now you can see very clearly the power of a direct quotation because we use direct quotations when the language of the writer is so powerful and so effective that it helps us tell our own story. I mean, I love that line. Tracking the lives of the young, beautiful, and rich to capturing the lives of the young, beautiful, and resilient. So judicious use of summary, paraphrase, and direct quotation is a really important literacy practice. We can start teaching these skills really early, but we would never want to confuse plagiarism and copyright. Thanks for watching. I'm Renee Hobbs. I hope you enjoyed this short broadcast. Thanks again.